I don't stop.
A York County man helping find lost dogs at no cost to the owner. Ryan Bolson of Glenville spends his nights and weekends helping pet owners find their lost dogs, and he does it for no other reason than kindness. Fox 43's Samantha Galvez introduces us to the dog bounty hunter of York County.
There's certainly a method to Ryan's madness. He can catch a dog in as little as a few days, but for the York County couple you're about to meet who lost their pet, it felt like years before they had their dog back.
This is what she does.
It's been a month since Beth Ibanez and her husband have settled on their new West Manheim Township home. But settling in, well, that's a different story.
Everything was stopped. Like, we have boxes in our basement still. That's not even undone because our whole life was on hold.
Their time should have been spent cleaning, unpacking, decorating. Instead, worrying, crying, searching.
I mean, we all took a deep breath after we got her.
Their 5-year-old pug, Mia, escaped just a few days after they moved in. The backyard fence a little too high off the ground. Their third child gone, lost, just like how Beth and Orlando felt.
We were definitely lost. I mean, we didn't know where else to go. Yeah, I mean, Beth was upset every night. She couldn't sleep.
I cried every night. The kids cried. We were just devastated. I mean, we had her since she was like 6 months old. She is our world.
Days turned into weeks. The family eventually turned to the Facebook group Find Toby, a lost dog networking page with 60,000 followers, for help. And out of nowhere,
So I picked up the phone and called her.
came this man.
That initial phone call of a total stranger calling you, telling you, let me help you catch your dog.
She's like, I don't know who this number is. And I was like, all right, so I'll give him a call. And I was like, hey, who's this? He's like, yeah, this is Ryan. Just heard what was going on, so I want to try to reach out and help you guys. He's like, I'm not one of those strange people out there trying to take your dog or anything like that. I'm trying to help you.
Are you like a dog bounty hunter?
I guess I've been called a lot. I guess that I could be called a dog bounty hunter.
For the last 8 years, Ryan Bolson has been catching lost dogs.
All your local rescues all have my number, and I've caught several dogs for them.
He works with Find Toby, but it's all on his own accord and his own time. Usually evenings and weekends, never any strings attached.
The feeling you get when you return that dog to that owner, or you call that owner and say, I have your dog, it's a feeling you'll never forget.
He's felt it more than 30 times. This past month, we brought you the story of Simba, the German Shepherd who escaped from a Hanover Petco while being groomed.
He told me that the groomer had gone to the bathroom and Simba was in a kennel at that time, and somehow he jostled his way out of this kennel.
Fast forward about a week, Simba is back home, and so is Mia, both thanks to Ryan.
It's one of those scenarios that people don't know what to do. They don't know what to do if their dog goes missing. First thing to do is panic. And, you know, if nobody's out there giving them guidance on what to do, nothing gets done.
It's more than what you see in cartoons. Food as bait and that stick holding up a cage.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
You gotta do a lot of legwork. You gotta know that dog's pattern. You gotta know more history on the dog to know what style of capture can you make.
He has a full game plan, and boy, does he stick to it.
You set your bait trail out the front. Your main food source goes in the very back. Dog walks in, steps on this trip plate, door comes down.
Simba, the dog who got loose from Petco, was caught in this very cage.
What you do is you put a food trail from the inside, leading outside, there again, keeping that dog's nose on the ground.
But Mia doesn't like crates.
Standard trap is not gonna work. She won't go in. So we had to go to the dog pen trap.
That's this thing. It's a 4-foot wide, 8-foot long, and 6-foot tall pen. Ryan designed a mechanism to remotely shut the door.
Yeah, so she was known to be traveling this field.
Before Ryan gets to this point, he builds a profile of the dog, starting with sightings. From there, he creates a food schedule, figuring out patterns and setting up cameras to start tracking.
There are times where I sit here and I'll stare at Google Earth and I plot all the sightings on Google Earth. You've got to put yourself in the mindset of a dog. What am I looking for? I'm looking for food, I'm looking for shelter, and I'm looking for water. I could tell you where that dog was going to be and when she was going to be there.
And sure enough, Mia was captured just 10 days after Ryan got involved.
I saw Ryan's name on the cell phone. I was like, this is it. And he said, come get her. I was like, Beth, get the kids, let's go, let's round it. I mean, we were out the door. The knowledge he knows and what to do to rescue dogs, it's just amazing.
Turns out she had been hanging around this field, as Ryan said,
She was caught right here,
right in this spot,
right in this spot.
just a few minutes away from Beth and Orlando's home the entire time.
If it was one of my dogs that was missing, I'd be the same way. It's a family member. No matter how you look at it, a pet is a family member.
He's just a very smart guy. Him and Sandy are an amazing team.
As for that pesky fence they fixed that was a little too high off the ground,
It's like Fort Knox. she's not getting out.
and if Ryan's work alone wasn't enough, he says if a person tries to pay him, he asks they make a donation in his name to a charity of his choice. Samantha Galvez, Fox 43 News.
And Bolson says it's also important to note that dogs usually stay within 2 to 3 miles of their home. For more information on the Lost Dog Networking Facebook page, head to our website, fox43.com.